what's up, my people? See here, your girl Vida Garcia, and as you know already by the subject of this title of this video, we are going on the march, and I'm here already getting ready for this march. So if you're interested, just continue watching.
I am truly honored and humbled to teach, lead, and serve as the Community Engagement Director for the Unique Women's Coalition. Thank you. I'd like to take a few moments to thank my trans and non-binary siblings for trusting our organization, Unique Women's Coalition, and for working tirelessly for TDOR. Your contribution and commitment has made this event a true success. It's extremely difficult to turn on the news or even check into social media these days. I know tonight we will take several minutes to acknowledge the passing of our transgender siblings. I implore you, please don't wait until every November 20th to acknowledge our existence. I do ask that you take time this week and any day to share trans accomplishments, because we contribute to this world every day. Our community is severely underrepresented and lacks both economic and political clout. We must and will change that. If tonight was the only time you've interacted with a trans individual, then my friends, we do have a problem. If tonight we made you realize your company or organization has no employees of trans experience, then my friends, we have some changes coming soon. 1 in 2 Black trans persons are infected with HIV. 1 in 4 Latina trans person is infected with HIV. This is your time to support all of us with action. On behalf of the TDOR Planning Committee and the Unique Women's Coalition, I welcome you to TDOR 2019.
Yeah.
I'm really proud to serve as your host, one of your co-hosts tonight. And here, hey Lucky, how are you? All right, so you know we're technology savvy these days. So our hashtags for tonight is value trans life, protect trans people, say their name. Thank you. And any other hashtags you might use. So thank you.
Good evening. So tonight we are here to celebrate and pay respects to our siblings that have been lost over the last year. To get us started, we have UA and Isaac, who are going to start us off with a prayer. But during this particular portion, we ask that there are no cameras. So if everyone could show respect and have no cameras for this particular portion. UA.
Hey, mother.
Hey, babies. Come on in. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Come in. Have a seat.
They're not here waiting for you, are they? This is a women's hair salon, and women come first after all.
No, queen. We don't do that here. These ladies are my customers, And this shop is a safe space for all women. We do not tolerate that behavior in here.
I'm sorry, I am just sick and tired of these men coming in and taking everything from us. They'll never know the pain and struggle it is to be a real woman.
Now hold up. Hating on a trans woman does not make you more of a woman. It actually makes you look very silly. Transphobia kills people, and you do not want blood on your hands, do you?
25 trans women were killed in 2018, of which 19 were Black trans women. I want you to think about that the next time you decide to refer to a trans woman as a man. Have you ever had someone belittle your womanhood? I'm sure you know how that feels, right?
I do. As a matter of fact, I do. Just hearing you say that makes me think about all the times a man has tried to deny me my womanhood, and I guess I just never thought about it that way.
Listen, Queen, I don't know where you got that belief system from, but I challenge you to go beyond that. It's all right to learn that gender identity is vast. You never know, one of your own girlfriends might be transgender. But that behavior, it leads people to depression, maybe even suicide. I know that you can be better than that. Just like you need me to do your hair, we as women, we need each other. We're better together than we are against each other.
Together, we can fight the evils of transphobia.
Flux is dedicated to creating safe spaces for trans and gender nonconforming individuals through advocacy and events.
We are dedicated to supporting the diversity and vibrancy of our community.
How about you?
Thank you, Flux AHF, for that very important message.
Y'all ready for some entertainment? All right, all right. Please help me welcome Simone Simmons to the stage.
I dedicate this to all of my trans brothers and sisters from me. I never knew love like this before. Now I'm lonely, nevermore.
one more time. At this time, please help us welcome to the stage, representing for the City of West Hollywood, Council members John Duran, Lauren Meister, John Heileman, and the Transgender Advisory Board.
So glad that you're all here. I'm Lauren Meister, and my colleagues John Duran and John Heileman are here as well. We want to thank the Transgender Advisory Board for everything they do and for producing this event, which has always been a really touching event every year. I know that a lot of times we come up here and we say, you know, we were the first city to have a transgender advisory board. We had a transgender task force before that. But we have to also think about the future and what have we done for you lately? And we are very committed to the transgender community. And one of the things that we recently partnered with the Transgender Advisory Board to send some of its members to Washington, D.C. for the Transgender March. And during that time, our Transgender Advisory Board members were able to meet various Congress members, some good, some bad. But we really think that it's important that transgender people are visible. And they're visible in our community, and we're just so happy to be here and be part of this. Thank you.
I'm Councilmember John Duran, the City of West Hollywood. Just wanted to take a moment to recognize something I want to recognize the Center for Early Education to start, which is our host. It's a private school. There's only one city in the country that flies the transgender flag 365 days a year, and that's this city. At the corner of Crescent Heights and Santa Monica Boulevard, the trans flag is out there 365 days a year, along with a plaque commemorating transgender victims of violence. West Hollywood is a city that you may or may not know this. It is 90% white, and I am the only person of color ever elected to the city council in West Hollywood. But despite that being true, the city has made sure that we commit ourselves continuously to diversity and inclusion. And we want to, again, thank the Center for Early Education, the Unique Women's Coalition for hosting this event tonight, putting it together, and especially for featuring Black and African American transgender women. And now, one of the city founders of the City of West Hollywood, my colleague, John Heileman.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you all for being here. I want to also thank the Center for Early Education. When I called them up and said, could we use your auditorium again? Usually when I call them, they're like, oh, what does he want now? But when I asked about this event, the principal, Mark Brooks, said, this is such an important event for us. We would be honored to host it in our school. They're a school that has transgender students. They have been committed to equality for the whole spectrum of the LGBT community, and we're lucky to have them here. And they have told me they would love to host this event. As much as you want to come back here, they want to have this event here. So I want to thank them as well. I want to also thank our wonderful sign language interpreters who are here tonight. Thank you very much. And again, our great Transgender Advisory Board, and I know there are a lot of people here from different organizations, including the Center. I want to thank everyone who makes a difference in the lives of trans people. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out and joining us. My name is Madison Fairchild. I'm the chair of the Trans Advisory Board. I sit along with my vice chair, Erica de la Cruz, and all our other members. On behalf of the board, we'd like to also thank especially Unique Women's Coalition for putting together this program. Thank you for all your hard work. We'd also like to thank the wall Las Memorias for the altar that they've put up for us. Thank you to Gender Justice LA for coordinating our march that we'll be having this evening. Thank you to our volunteers for making this an efficient event. And a big thank you to all of you sitting here in attendance, showing up and being present and taking up space where we all belong. TDOR is important because it brings attention to the violence afflicting our community, especially Black trans women. But TDOR is just one day. As the chair of Trans Advisory Board, I ask that you not stop getting involved after tonight. Your voice matters, and we want to see you and listen to you throughout the year. We ask that you please come to our meetings held every first Wednesday of the month at West Hollywood City Hall, starting at 6 p.m. With your involvement, we can be more effective and create greater positive change for the city and for our community. Thank you again for all coming. Thank you.
Resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, the overall capacity to recover from difficulties. Resilience is toughness. So here to share their stories of resilience are Chloe Perez Rios, Maria Roman, and Seven Harris.
I was raised in a very poor family. At the age of 5, my mother immigrated to California trying to escape a violent and abusive relationship. My 4 older brothers and I were left behind with my grandparents, and we all lived in one single room until my mother had the resources to bring us all to California with her. Once in California, my family faced and learned many harsh lessons. As my mother struggled to bring food to the table and raise 5 children as a single mother, we all had to learn to share. The one piece of bread on the table. My oldest brother used to go for the biggest piece because obviously he was the oldest and biggest. And then my second oldest brother, and so on until I was left with the smallest piece, because obviously I was the youngest and smallest. And so my mother had to teach us that the bread had to be split into equal pieces. That it didn't matter who was the biggest or oldest and who was the youngest. That with limited resources, we all had to eat equally because we are all important. Now you may all be asking, why is she sharing this with us? Well, in the last year of working with my own community, this memory of sharing has come up over and over and over again. I have witnessed our community fighting and competing for the same pot of resources. We are all trying to be better than each other. We're all trying to be better than each other. We're all trying to find the biggest piece of the bread. And this really saddens me. It really saddens me because in this war of who gets more, we are forgetting about the main goal, which is to look out for the most vulnerable and protect our trans siblings who are living on the streets, who have no food on their table, victims of violence. And at the end of the year, we come together and we put together a vigil to honor their lost lives, when instead we should be putting these type of events to help each other. And so this really saddens me. It saddens me that we are here one more year, mourning our trans siblings that we have lost to hate. It saddens me that we are allowing so-called allies to create collages with the photos of human beings who have been murdered to transphobia and displaying them like pieces of art, when instead we should be celebrating them for being warriors, celebrating them for being courageous to live their true identities, celebrating them for breaking norms imposed on us, celebrating them for being unique, bold, and beautiful. So it saddens me, because we see more hate than people helping. It saddens me because within our community there's so much competition and less unity. It saddens me because leaders, politicians, and representatives, that hold power and privilege, they talk, but they don't act. We saw it with Malaysia Booker and many other trans siblings who are now gone, that justice came late or didn't come at all. We saw it with Vicky Gutierrez and many more, that our community cried and mourned, but very little was done. But I also have hope, despite all of this. I have hope that our community will learn to share. I have hope that our community will learn to work together. I have hope that our dysfunctional trans family will learn to cut the bread into equal pieces. I mean, we see it at Las Perlas. They try to erase us. We rally and let them know that we exist and we won't be erased. We see it every day when we teach, when we educate, when we elevate the most vulnerable, that when we lift up each other, we go beyond and we get to stop killing us, but it's time we demand. It's time to listen and support our trans siblings crossing the US border, seeking safety and fleeing persecution. Yes. It's time to rise and shut down the voices that prohibit us. It's time to shut down the voices that exclude us. It's time to shut up the voices that end up killing us. Not one more! Not one more! Not one more! Not one more!
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Roman. I am a proud 49-year-old trans Latina woman. I am also the Vice President and Chief Operations Officer for the Trans Latina Coalition, one of the leading trans-led organizations in our country. Today marks the 20th year of the inaugural Day of Remembrance. As we observe around the world the Day of Remembrance, for many of us, trans-identified people, the Day of Remembrance marks another reminder of the atrocities, injustices, and lack of justice our community continues to face around the world. Today I stand beside my Black trans sisters as they continue to carry the burden. You can applaud for that. And the prize for living authentically. I also want to tell my Black trans sisters and all my trans siblings, I see you. I hear you. I stand by your side. Your fight is our fight. Your pain is our pain. I personally commit to being intentional in working together to further foster unity in purpose. We must also hold each other accountable for ongoing anti-Blackness, anti-immigrant sentiment as we move forward and create meaningful spaces where we can strategize and create meaningful, real change. Today I remember the devastation our LGBT community and allies felt after the brutal murder of Matthew Shepard. You could feel the country mourning. I also remember what I felt when I heard about the death of Gwen Araujo in 2002 and how that became a small whisper in comparison to the need for gays and lesbians to get the ability to marry one another. The whisper has been heard ever since, so lightly as empathy and hate towards trans people continue to grow, with a steady murder rate of 20 to 30 every year in this country and hundreds around the world. Today I remember what I felt like. Today I remember what it felt like to be called a man. The day I own my womanhood. What I felt like to be hit time and time again with a closed fist because the hate someone felt by everything I represent. Today I remember all the people who have fled their country and have been victims of hate in their journey to freedom. Today I remember all my trans sisters that died due to lack of access to HIV medical treatment in detention centers. Today I remember all the trans people around the world that no one has counted and died in the hands of hate, and whose deaths have also become part of the ongoing whisper we hear as we are slaughtered around the world, and this country continues to strip us from limited rights we have gained. But today, I want to remind us that Transgender Day, remember, is our day. And it should be our agenda. It should be a day for us to come together and heal. We need to take our power back. Day of Remembrance does not belong to a city. It belongs to us. Today, we must not do business as usual. We must take up space. We must demand a seat at the table. We must begin to create our own damn fucking table. And have true equity in the future of our people. We must ask ourselves, what are we doing to contribute to the true investment in trans people's life and future? If you're a trans person, I ask you to hold people in power accountable, to demand real change, to stop being passive and complacent and content with the status quo. If you are not willing to do this, then I ask you to please step aside. Because you are part of the problem. And we cannot have another 20 years of the same bullshit.
So, when I sat down to write about what it means to be transgender in today's political climate, my mind was clouded with the murders of our trans and gender non-conforming siblings, bathroom laws that force trans folk into violent spaces of our past, and I thought, yet like dust we rise. We rise to make history as Ryan Murphy and Janet Mock's groundbreaking TV show Pose becomes the most Golden Globe-nominated television show in 2019, including an almost all transgender cast, or Angelica Ross becoming the first transgender person to host a presidential debate, and lastly, Danica Rome, the first openly trans person to be re-elected state legislator. Growing up in North Carolina as a kid, I grew up flanked between two spaces socially. One where my femininity wasn't questioned or shunned. I can recall being in middle school PE class. My PE teacher would split us into groups. One large group of girls and one male, and make the girls walk in one direction around the track while the boys walked the opposite direction. As the girls and I walked, we talked about hair, makeup, our body, insecurities, middle school gossip, boys, and even other girls that we disliked. My PE teacher, Mr. Williams, never complained. In fact, I was often awarded for having ran the most miles. I was given candy and t-shirts and even a free sweatsuit. I was the star of the PE show, but there was always a time when I was in public with my mom and someone would nosily ask if I was a boy or a girl. Or when I would ask to be shown the restroom I would ask to be shown the restroom in public and be escorted to the women's restroom. It would make me feel seen, but it would piss my mom off. She had had enough of blurred gender lines. The minute my sister, who played football her 6th and 7th grade year in middle school, came home and told my mom that one of the kids' parents told her she needed to pick a gender, male or female. Well, you are kind of masculine, my mom responded, hoping my sister would ditch her cornrows and footballs for skirts, micro braids, and manicured nails. Eventually, my sister retired her football cleats, and I was left being policed by myself. Once I grew older and more conscious of the binary, my femininity wasn't encouraged or cute anymore. My mom traded in asking me to dance like my sisters and girl cousins at barbecues and birthdays to asking me not to sit like that, speak like that, hold my fork that way, or walk that way. This is where I spent my early years, stuck in between being completely comfortable around my girlfriends and being policed by my binary believing parents. As trans folk and gender non-conforming folk in 2019, we occupy two ends of a wide spectrum. We occupy one end of the spectrum where our visibility is being celebrated. Our names are being spoken, doors are being opened, and we're being honored. And on the other end, our siblings are being murdered and our visibility is being taken advantage of. We're being killed and being dead named, forgotten about. It makes me think about love. I used to assume love was a feeling, a deep pleasure, but love is synonymous with occupying two spaces. A space of vulnerability and being aware that this vulnerability can lead to the heartbreak, but still operating as a completely loving badass. Love is intentional. It's showing up fully present in the midst of vulnerability and chaos. It's knowing that they want to see us broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by their soulful cries. It's knowing that our haughtiness offends them and that they may take it awful hard, but still laughing like we got gold mines digging in our backyards. Love is revolutionary. 2019 has proven to be revolutionary for us as trans and gender non-conforming folk. We have proven to be more than revolutionary. We are the revolution. We have proven to be a direct reflection of the Creator's love. We are love. Our task going forward is to be that light we speak of to the young youth struggling to find it. Because we're so much more than the verbal cliche, it gets better. Each of us in this room are exemplars of that better. We promise our broken-hearted siblings, friends, lovers, and ourselves. And if I can get better, then anyone struggling can get better. And to our trans and gender non-conforming siblings who are taking from us too soon, we speak your names. And we will continue to speak your names in the face of adversity and in times where we're creating history. We will continue to celebrate you because those who took you from us were afraid to. We will continue to make sure that even in the depths of an early meeting with our trans sisters, the Sylvias and Marsha P. Johnsons of the world, you'll rise. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high still will rise.
Thank you so much to our siblings for sharing their stories of resilience. We appreciate you. Next, we have a video presentation for Trans Day of Remembrance across the world.
Mexico is now the world's second most deadly country for transgender people. But most murders go unsolved and unpunished, with 261 transgender women murdered between 2013 and 2018. According to the most recent study by the LGBTQ+ group Letra Es, last year, 56 transgender women were killed in Mexico. We are entering a new decade. Our last decade was stained with violence, atrocities, and murder. The question is, what will our new decade bring us? And what will you do to stop this?
Okay, this evening we'll remember 32 of our transgender and non-binary siblings. The reading of the names will include the 22 known 2019 United States murders, of which 21 are Black transgender women and non-binary people. Rita Hester, whose 1998 murder was memorialized in the founding of the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Gwen Araujo, whose life was cut too short in 2002 and inspired the T-Door marches. Our three of our siblings who were murdered in 2018, but whose names were reported nationally after 2020 of last year. Two of our known Latinx siblings, Johanna Medina, died shortly after being released from detention, and Laylene Palinko died while incarcerated. One of our transgender and one of our known transgender siblings who succumbed to suicide. And lastly, we give thanks and recognize the passing of our own local community mothers, Zoma Velasquez and Kelly Trumbaco.
And here are the reading of the names.
34 years old, Alston, Massachusetts.
Regina Dennis Brown, 53 years old, Orangeburg, South Carolina, October 10th, 2018. T.D. Dansbury, 37 years old, Baltimore, Maryland, November 26, 2008.
Kiana Mattel, 36 years old, Detroit, Michigan, December 7th, 2018. Dana Martin, 31 years old, Montgomery, Alabama, January 6, 2018. March 30th, 2009.
Sarah Gata, 21 years old, Cleveland, Ohio, May 14, 2019.
Malaysia Upward, 23 years old, from Dallas, Texas, May 18, 2008.
Michelle Tamika Washington, 40 years old, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, May 19, 2019. Thomas Cameron, 20 years old, Detroit, Michigan, May 25, 2019. Sue Velasquez, 63 years old, Los Angeles, California, August 2019. Kelly Chumbaco, 76 years old, Los Angeles, California, November 3rd, 2019. Up here we're looking at Chanel Skurlock. She was 23 years old, Lavon, North Carolina. She was taken from us June 5th, 2019. Back to the last slide, please. Chanel Lindsay, 26 years old, Dallas, Texas, June 1st, 2019. Johanna Joa Medina, 25 years old, El Paso, Texas, June 1st, 2019.
Sandy Spears, 23 years old, Fairmont Heights, Maryland, June 13th, 2019.
Brooklyn Lindsay, 32 years old, Kansas City, Missouri, June 25th, 2019. July 20th, 2019. Noah Walker, 55 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina, July 27th, 2019. Tracy, 22 years old, from Houston, July 3rd, 2019. years old, Miami, Florida, July 21st, 2000. Every time between Georgia and South Carolina. Jordan Crawford, 22 years old, Daniel Miami, August 4th, 2019. Yes. 17. BB Slater, 23 years old, Cleveland, Florida, September 4th, 2019. Sadie, 46 years old. Italy Marlowe, 29 years old. Texas, 22. One, 17, New York, 2000. Full Velasquez, 53 years old, was founded in California, August 2019. Kelly Trumbaco, 76 years old, Los Angeles, California, November 3rd, 2019. How many of you were here last year? How many of us participated in a TDOR event last year? I did as well. But here's the thing. We started treating November 20th like a party, a celebration. TDOR has become business for some. I'm here tonight to remind you, we're here to remind you, it is not a party, and it is not a celebration. Trans and non-binary people live in fear of unexpected hate and violence just for wanting, needing to be our true selves. Nearly 24 trans people have been killed nationwide. Nearly all were Black trans women, and the majority by gun. Yet we have federal laws protecting animals from cruelty, and trans people don't have these protections across these United States of America. Today is Transgender Day of Remembrance. It is a day where we honor those who reside at the margins of society, the intersections of institutional racism, sexism, and transphobia, combined with an overall societal attitude of I don't give a fuck. Conspire to deny Black transgender and gender nonconforming folks, particularly women, access to life resources that majority of people get to enjoy. Let us remember that tonight is not a party, nor a celebration. It is a day that we pay our respects to those whose lives were senselessly taken and to those who continue to live unapologetically. The killing of Black trans women is an epidemic, and it's time for a culture shift. If you want to support trans people, then you make space for us. Stand in your privilege and offer us your unconditional resources.
and equal partnership. Trans people are empowered, we are organized, and we deserve to not just live, but to thrive.
When I came in, now I'm idiot, but you gotta join me. Family, both myself and my sister Shayla, that was our trans mother on that screen. So we are actively mourning and grieving. It was very unexpected and very recent. I'm here to deliver the prayer. But before I do, we are here to mourn. We are here to give attention to our plight. We are here to speak truth to power. And we are here to scream to whoever would listen that our lives not only matter, but they are vital and crucial because we are strategists, we are mathematicians, we are architects, we are neuroscientists, we are psychotherapists, and social workers, and overall badass bitches. And it is because of that we won't be robbed of the gift. You ask me, Valerie, what do you mean the gift? What's the gift? I'm a woman of faith. And the promise that the Creator gave us was that if you choose to, any horrible thing, if you yield it up, somehow I will take it and I will turn it into something that good can come from. That is the gift, and we will not be robbed of the gift. We will not be robbed of the opportunity to mourn and go back and strategize and reorganize and come out with policies and procedures and laws and mandates that address this. So that is the good that comes from this, and that's the gift. We won't be robbed of it. We won't be robbed of the opportunity to say to anyone, the president even, that we matter. We won't be silenced. We won't be erased, and we will be in every courtroom that murders our sisters and our family to say that you are not only accountable outside of the jail, going into the jail, but when you get into the jail, we got a little something for you, but we're in the jail too. We won't be robbed of the gift. We won't be robbed of the gift. We won't just come here annually. Oh, I felt that. Okay. We won't just come here and cry and holler and talk about how we've been murdered. That's a piece of the story. But that's not the most important piece of the story. The important piece of the story is the gift. It's the gift. What are we going to do with these murders? What good are we going to make out of these tragedies? And the Creator says, no matter how filthy, no matter how violent or bloody, if you offer it up, if you establish an intention with yourself and ask the hard question, what good can come out of this? The gift is the promise that no matter how filthy or how sad, I can take it and twist it and pour good from it. That is the gift. And family, no matter how hard we're hurting, no matter how much we're shocked, we're not crazy. We'll be done sometime, but not crazy. We know that there is a gift, and we won't be robbed of it. Lord, there's one of these. We won't let this criminalized culture separate a sacred people such as trans women by something petty like race. You may not like me, but you don't love me because I'm black. You may hate my guts because I'm a mean old evil bitch. That's all right. But you don't love me because I'm black. And guess what? You gonna teach me how to speak Spanish? And you gonna teach me how to play cilantro? And we gonna produce this gift together. We won't be robbed of it. We won't be pimped and made fools of. And like white people in high places see people of color picked for scraps, we won't be robbed of it. Do you get my point? Do you get my point? That's why Cinco de Mayo is going to be pretty black this year, baby. We got it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And Black History Month is going to have a Latin twist to it. You coming? You coming to Black History Month? I know you're coming. Because I'm coming by your house and I'm going to get you. We will not let this criminalized old white racist society with this old thing up in the White House calling itself, I like to call it president so America can be shamed about what they've done. We will not let this president see us picking for chicken scratch. And you over in the Ukraine giving out $400 million. Do you, Shane? Do you know what you're doing? The raw Indian hair alone. We won't be picking for scraps. We won't be separated by race. We won't be separated by education. We won't be separated. We won't be separated. And that, my friends, is the gift. I'm going to pray. My job was to pray. Can I pray? That's what they brought me here for. They made me try to help me here to pray. I'm a reverend now. Hey. With a potty mouth. Thank you. You'll find the way I pray will work for you even if you don't believe in a deity. So rock with me, if you will. I invite you to just either close your eyes or just go into yourself and allow the sacred that is you to surface and commune with the other sacred energies in the space. There is indeed only one of us here. Mother, Father, infinite and ever-present isness. We just come tonight to recognize your power. Your power in us, your power as it shows up as us, and your power that is being operated through us. God, we don't always know what to do. We don't always get it right, but one thing we know, oh God, we can't take this bullshit, as my sister said, anymore, God. We can't take it. They try to kill us, chop us down, and make us beneath who we are. They hate that we're flawless. They hate that we're beautiful. They hate that we are in tune with the divine and with man. They can't take it. And yes, I'm a queen. Yes, I'm a queen. Why wouldn't you hate me? I'm sickening. That wasn't a prayer, but I just felt like saying it. But God, in this moment, we need your help. We need your ever-present guidance. Speak to us on the station that we listen to. Whisper to us in ways that we understand. Mount us up, gird us up, resource us handsomely, and send us out where you would have us to be. The only thing that we ask, oh God, is that divine intervention leads the way. Divine intervention leads the way. Work this out for us, God. We don't know what to do. We're doing something. But you promised us that if we cry out, you would help us. We are crying out tonight as we remember those who have shuffled off humanity. And now we will have to develop a whole new relationship with them as they are pure spirit and we are pure in body. God, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for leading us, moving us, and keeping us and comforting us. And because we all agree, I'm going to take you to Africa right quick, we lend our ashe. Ashe is your individual power, and when you speak it, you add it to the collective power, and it becomes power. Everybody say ashe. And so it is.
And that concludes our show.
Just one final word for every name that was spoken this evening, for every name that we may have missed, but a life that we have lost. We raise our fists for them to rest in power. And tonight we're going to do what they cannot. We're going to do it for them. We're going to be seen. We're going to be heard. We're going to take the streets. Follow us. Make a left through the exit of this door. Pick up a poster. Pick up a light. And march with us in their names. May they rest in power.
Trans lives matter! Trans lives matter! Trans power! Trans power! Trans power! Trans power! Trans power! Ay, mi hija, no la tengo de 17, pero la tengo poderosa. Saca el otro. Trans lives matter! 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 Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Power! Power! Land! Power! Land! Power! Land! Power! Protect trans lives! 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 Oh my God! Protect trans lives! Protect trans lives! Protect trans lives! Protect trans lives! No justice, no peace! 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 Stop killing us! 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 Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! La calle! Calle nosotros! Not one more! 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 lives matter! Trans lives matter! No peace! No justice! 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 No peace! Trans lives matter! Trans lives matter! Trans lives matter! Trans lives matter! Thank you so much. Thank you, people. Thank you so much.
We already finished the march with the transgender memorial today. It's November 20th, and they take this entire march and create all this event. I am so beyond honored to be part of this experience where people are getting together and helping new generations and people that are actually being a transgender. So this is a really difficult life to live every day. It's very important when they get together to make a difference and an impact. So we finally had the finished this march, and I'm going to wrap it up once I'm in my house with my final thoughts and ideas that I have for this foundation and everything. Amazing.